You're on.
Perfect. Okay, so most know it's been a bit of a whirlwind of a week, and coming into Friday, want an opportunity to bring everyone together to see what questions, comments, or concerns are out there in regards to the furlough announcements that went out this week. And so many know, and so for those who may not know, SSM did announce this week that there would be some involuntary furloughs that started to take place effective this Sunday or May 3rd. Could possibly go at this point up to 13 weeks, but that does not necessarily mean that it would be the full 13 weeks. It's completely dependent on, I feel like every time I turn away from you, I'm going to lose you. So it's completely dependent on service lines and when volumes come back up. So departments like food service and EDS are very reliant on what other people are doing. And so as we start to plan forward for recovery, teams will, or outside departments and services will let us know how they plan on bringing their volumes back up and how that's going to impact our teams. And so as they plan, we'll naturally have to plan, and based on that, we will start to call folks back dependent on how they are impacted by those services, okay? But it's not going to be a light switch. And so we would not hear something on a Wednesday, call somebody up and expect them to come back in on Thursday. It doesn't work that way. It would be week to week. So as we work through a week, there'll be many conversations on and off throughout a week of what does next week look like. Then we'll discuss that next week, and then we'll discuss that next week after that. So it would really be week by week increments. It's really what's best for our employees who are furloughed to be able to plan and to know that we're taking this week by week. Beyond that, I think it's also important to know that SSM as a whole is not tackling their financial strain with just furloughing employees. There's other things that are happening and taking place. Executive compensation has been frozen. Capital expenses have been frozen. There's open positions that have been frozen. There's certain expenses or stipends out there that some groups receive that they're no longer getting. So there's many different things that they are doing to, as a part of their recovery plan. It's not just isolated in this. And with that being said, folks who have been furloughed, they're going to be okay. SSM has really done a great job, especially considering what other industries are doing, what other healthcare systems are doing. They really came at this in a way that keeps the employee as intact and as whole as possible. But regardless of knowing that you're going to be okay, there's still feelings that go with that, and we need to be sensitive to that. Don't assume that other people's business is our business, right? Let them speak to it. Let them work through the process. Don't make assumptions. If there's questions out there, come and ask. But don't become desensitized to those who are also working through the process. It's not easy to be furloughed, and it's not easy also to be left behind to be picking up the pieces of being left without folks who are furloughed. So there's something to be considered on both sides of that coin. And so just be sensitive to that. What questions, rumors, what can I answer?
Do you think this was the only cut, or do you think there'll be more coming?
Yeah, some people have asked that. Really, they are just speaking for this 13-week period with the hopes that as they're working through recovery plan, that pans out as they plan it to pan out, right? So as they ramp up those service lines and they bring those volumes back up, all should work out for there to just be a 13-week, one phase of people. If there's service lines that don't ramp up as they expect them to ramp up, then that's not off the table, but this is my assumption. I don't know if I should be recording my assumption right now, but I'll just speak quietly and kind of face this one. Just kidding. My assumption is then, those pockets would be impacted. We are an ancillary department where other departments and teams rely on us, but we're also patient services. And so that, our inpatient volume depends on us as well. So we're pretty diversified in that way. But if there is a service line, take any service line, Cairo or pain, or take a service line. Surgeries will probably come back up okay. But like surgeries and those outpatient services, there's really our bread and butter. And so we need those service lines to start coming back online. But there could be these small pockets that don't, and those teams that'll look differently for them, So it'll all happen at different rates. It's not gonna be all one full sweep. You'll start seeing people coming back at varying times. So kind of one of those crystal ball questions, but the best information I have today is that it's 13-week period of time, one round. Any other questions, rumors to address? There's going to be, there'll be more to come. You'll be hearing something out in the public or amongst your coworkers, and it'll trigger something of a question in your mind. Just ask that question right away rather than filling in the gaps yourself or assuming anything. It's better for you, it's better for us that we just have that open dialogue and we're transparent rather than anybody filling in the blanks on their own. So just ask if you have questions. Okay? Good. Like I said, there'll be more questions, so just keep them coming.